2011, wildfires consume large parts of central Texas in a single weekend. Bastrop, Spicewood, Steiner Ranch, all burning. And recent rains don't mean we're out of danger when it comes to wildfires. In fact, more rain means plants are really growing, which means more fuel to burn when we hit the dry summer. And Shannon, UT researchers say the state has not seen this level of spring vegetation growth since 2010.
Yes, and another recent report also says Central Texas specifically is near the top of the list of U.S. places at risk of a wildfire. And KXAN investigator Brian Collister discovered some counties don't have a plan if a wildfire breaks out.
New pine trees are popping up all around the Williams home in Bastrop County, scattered between those still looking like burnt matchsticks, torched by a 2011 wildfire. Belinda and her husband's house was in the direct path of that blaze.
And it was like an orange glow back in the background. It was like, okay, the fire is coming.
Y'all need to evacuate.
The Williams and hundreds of others survived, thanks in part to a plan created by county leaders years earlier.
I believe that it was definitely something that was needed, and it was great that they did it.
The county had already studied the best evacuation routes, part of its community wildfire protection plan. It helps protect against the threat of wildfires by identifying areas at greatest risk and tries to clear hazards like old brush. But if a fire breaks out, it also encourages collaboration between all emergency responders.
This would need to be trimmed down.
The Texas A&M Forest Service helps communities create them.
Without a plan, you're not properly prepared for a wildfire.
Bastrop and Travis counties have them, but two of the fastest growing counties in the state, Williamson and Hays, do not. In 2010, Williamson County Judge Dan Gaddis and commissioners passed a resolution to do it, but that hasn't happened.
We don't have one now. Why not?
Good question, why not? There's been a lot of other things that have come up. A lot of things have happened since 2010 to get that done. Doesn't mean we haven't quit working on it.
Can you assure the people of Williamson County that you are as prepared as you can be despite not having this plan?
Well, I think we're prepared.
Just because we don't have one completed does not mean that people are at risk.
The head of Williamson County's emergency management is the one who proposed the county have one back in 2010.
The Community Wildfire Protection Plan is an ongoing process. It's a collaborative process, and we continue to work with our stakeholders within the county. But again, we focus our efforts on the hazard mitigation plan.
That hazard mitigation identified areas most at risk and ways to clear things that will fuel a wildfire, like old brush. But we checked, and that hasn't happened either. 3 years ago, the county applied for a $500,000 grant to clear brush in what it says is its biggest wildfire hazard, this 800-acre park surrounded by thousands of homes. But the county is still waiting on the money, and homeowners are still in the line of fire.
That's one thing that definitely needs to be looked at, the whole area. Easy. Up.
Melissa Barton lives and operates a dog park nearby and worries her house and business could be at risk if a fire broke out on the county property.
I have some concerns about that because there's so many areas that are coming up and popping up in this area.
An area not even included in Williamson County's current assessment of wildfire hazards. Only a 6-line paragraph.
Is that enough, especially when you don't have the Community Wildfire Protection Plan in place?
I don't disagree that we need to keep working that way, but I'm not in a panic to get that done as long as I've got the fire departments, the cities, the county, and everybody working towards that end and trying to work with homeowners to get there.
And just down the road in Hays County, emergency management officials also don't have one. But a week after we first asked why not, they met with the Forest Service to begin the process.
With the substantial growth that Hays County's experienced, we're working towards that plan. Resources are obviously limited within our development services staff, our fire marshal's office, and our individual fire departments.
What do you say to fire departments and community leaders that say, we don't have one of these community wildfire protection plans, but we've done some planning? Are they prepared enough?
They're taking the step, but to get fully prepared, they need to have a community wildfire protection plan.
But you can see a lot of trees like that.
Back in Bastrop, Belinda and her husband are grateful. Responders there were prepared. It didn't save their home,
Yeah.
but it did save their lives.
It was in the Lord's hands. And we felt that we were, you know, the Lord gave us the old house. He took the house away and then he blessed us with another one.
Much of what's in these community wildfire protection plans is aimed at educating homeowners and private property owners on what you can do to be safe. The biggest threat, dense brush and old wood piled up near your home. The Texas Forestry Service actually walked us through in detail, showing us what you need to look for when trying to prevent a wildfire around your home. We've put together a handy video so you can see for yourself. It's online at kxan.com. And you can find a lot more tips and resources on our homepage, kxan.com. Brian Collister, KXAN Investigates.
Brian, thank you. We have also learned several communities are coming up with their own ideas. Leander just approved a wildfire plan this spring, and tomorrow Westlake will vote to fund more fire hydrants to help if a wildfire breaks out there.
Yes, and Brian mentioned earlier, Travis County is one of the communities with a community wildfire plan. Right now at KXAN.com, our online exclusive about Travis County's work and what emergency leaders here think about their neighbors without plans. Just check out the investigative section of KXAN.com. And while you're there, check out our interactive map showing you the level of wildfire risk in Texas. Hover over each city and you can see just how great the threat is where you live.
And remember, if you have something you want us to investigate, email us at report@kxan.com.